Good morning. Okay, Taurus, this is your reading for March. Let's open up what this month will bring for you guys. Obviously, if you're Taurus sun, you can be watching this, but moon and rising as well. So let's look at the energies coming for you. And then we can have a think about how to work with those energies, right? So that's why readings work so well, particularly if we categorize them into your sun sign or the themes that are relevant to you. I think it's so beneficial to know what the collective and individual energies are like that are coming, so you can start to bring into awareness all of that knowledge into your conscious mind and start working with it. Particularly if you go about your month and then parts from the reading click into place and you think, oh, that's what that was about. I'm ready for this. I knew this was coming, rather than always feeling sidelined by a sense of not being in control of what's actually going on. So readings can help you feel a little bit more in control of what's going on, and probably that healthy sense of control. Control can bring in a natural sense of surrender. So if the reading pulls out something that's interesting but uncomfortable, you can surrender to it and start working with it straight away, rather than when a curveball comes into your life and you think, whoa, I didn't see that coming. I have no idea how to deal with this. So we are asking spirit and the divine to work with us, to give us a heads up on the things that we might need preparation for, and then to move forward with action based on the love and trust needed in spirit that has us held in unconditional love at all times. That's the important foundation, so that the readings then come on top in a framework of trust. Doesn't matter if it's uncomfortable or not. Trust is often uncomfortable. Would you agree with that? So we still want to be working with our human capacity for distrust, for doubt, for all of those shadow aspects, and working to bring those parts into the light once again, right? The ever unfolding journey. So for you, my dear Taurus, we're starting with the Nine of Cups. Nine of Cups tells me that you've actually come a long way, right? We are approaching the new astrological year. So once Aries season starts, that'll be the end of this month, we will kick into a new cycle. So this card talks to me about reflecting upon everything that's happened last year, how far you've come, what you've learned, maybe even going a bit further to understand what you can now bank as your self-worth. I want you to go back and actually say, yeah, I did all those things and I moved through that and I healed that, and that's been really important. And now I can be a person that can honestly say that I did all of that. And be honest with yourself. If things didn't go according to plan and you have these beacons of the past year of your life, which like that was a shit bit, that was a shit bit, that was a shit bit, address what's going on and find out, because they're cups, if there's any emotional and spiritual nourishment in those aspects, those events, those transits, everything that happened for you. Bank on the nourishment, not on your judgment of how it went, because your judgment and perspective will change. There's no point saying that was right, that was wrong. It's more about that felt really hard in the moment, but now I know all of these things, or now I've nourished my life in these ways. And when I look back, it still feels difficult, but if I've nourished my life and made actions towards something better, then that's what we want for Nine of Cups. It is a celebration card. It is saying you've come a long way. You've done a lot of good things, and they're all representing your emotional, spiritual nourishment. You're surrounded by it, right? Bank on that for your self-worth and your confidence. You are the person that went through all that. You are the person that prioritized nourishment for yourself based on everything that you've been through. So take note, Taurus. That's really cool stuff. We want to wrap it all off, wrap it all up, and close it off before the energetic new year starts, right? Good time to get out the journal and have a bit of a reflective session on how far you've come in the last year. Yep. So see if you can go back, maybe look at some photos, get some sparks of awareness, even if it's talk to a friend about, what you've learnt this year, that will bring in first that self-worth aspect. The next part of the story is a big part of the story, because it's obvious to me with this card that through all of that learning and through all of that emotional and spiritual nourishment, and I get that emotional and spiritual nourishment doesn't feel amazing when you have to do it. Expressing your emotions doesn't feel great until they're out of your body and you know you're not repressing them and creating disease anymore. So everything that you've done has opened up a world of opportunity for you. All elements are here. All dimensions are here. This is what it takes to be in divine balance with the world and with yourself all at once, right? We've got a lot of archetypes in here. This might represent your world opening up in its perspective. It might even be traveling to different dimensions, right? So those of you doing the spiritual work and the shamanic work, it is like, I used to be in this 3D form, frustrated around that I couldn't go to the places that I knew were waiting for me. Opening up the world is, I can go there. I've been there. I can actually take interesting knowledge from different dimensions and different planes and different perspectives and different parts of myself to come and nourish my world and actually hold me in balance. So this does remind me of the transition that I see a lot of my students go through. They are frustrated by the egoic world. They're sick of being in cause and effect. They're sick of their ego just running circles around them and they're going, oh, here we go again. I've got to overcome this. That feels shit. Now it feels better. But the world opens up when they start speaking to their guides, because all of a sudden they are speaking to a consciousness that is on another dimension. And what I see is this opens up their realm completely. They are now the multidimensional person that can speak to the spirit realm, stay grounded in 3D, and use this capacity to feel well, right? So it's interesting because when we go towards spiritual work, a lot of people in the beginning feel a little bit like they're going somewhere that's scary. But when we open up the world for them and the different shamanic realms that we travel to all the time, something in them balances, something in them feels right, something in them feels better. So this can just be, yes, it can be travel to a new place. And for some reason that pulls our life into perspective, doesn't it? You go and visit another culture, you see everything that they do and how they're doing it, and the way they're expressing themselves. And that contrast makes your life feel more rich. Even if you're burdened by a lower socioeconomic area or the third world in some way, but it also brings your perspective into balance. The blinkers come off and you think, right, so that's what my world is about. That's why it feels that way. We're opening up the world even more. This card would put us in encouragement of. So if you've been thinking about astral traveling, shamanic work, spiritual work, skill set work, meditation, lucid dreaming, whatever it is, this card tells me that if you go towards that, you've banked all your nourishment, you've done really good in the 3D. If you go towards that, that opening of perspective, that evolutionary upgrade will actually be so beneficial for you, so that we can bring those parts of you into balance, right? We don't want our minds to govern our entire world. We don't want our fear to govern our entire world. That's what the ego does. It will stay you locked in a mental plane of fear-based action, right? Trying to keep you safe all the time. The world opens you up to feeling all states and being okay with them and accepting both love and fear, earth, air, water, fire, all of it all at once. We can actually be in physical form, in 3D, speaking to our guides that represent different archetypes in the spirit realm, connected to nature, and have all this multi-dimensional stuff going on. And for most people, I find it makes them more well, more centered, more rational, more calm, more grounded, and all of those things that you wouldn't expect. But you have to bank the resources first. So make a decision about where you're at. Are you banking resources? Do you feel resource rich? Are you in that I've done it, now I'm ready for more phase? Or are you still having trouble banking those resources and prioritizing them? If you are, that comes first, then your world will open up. Simply by prioritizing the habits, the situations, the environments that bring you nourishment, right? Not other people, you. If we manage to open up the world, we have a very interesting card here. So if we open up the world based on high resources, high personal resources that you've managed to create, we will have an opportunity to see very clearly any deception around us. Now, remember, deception isn't someone lying to you. It's not as simple as that now that you've opened up the world, Taurus. It's actually a bit more about being able to see when you deceive yourself, being able to see when someone's in something that is not truth, being able to see in the world what isn't your truth very clearly. We don't want to have to sit there in the mental plane, pros and cons and debating back and forward. This tells me it's an intuitive based knowing around what you now see as deception. So our mind can do that to us often. If you're not feeling resource rich, if you're not relaxed and safe, if you're not surrounded by people that fill up your cup, you are more likely to deceive yourself. And that can be as simple as, oh no, I know there's good in that person. That'll show eventually. But if you're putting up with abusive behavior and lying to yourself about if it's going to get better, this card tells me that if we do all these things, we will have the depth and it's not even a luxury, it's the honor of being able to see deception clear as day and very quickly. So it's seeing the deception in people's words, it's seeing the deception in the society, it's seeing deception in a politician, the medical system, whatever it is, and just saying, oh, I get it now. I'll go over here. It's not dramatic. It's not based on fear. Fear would have you going in there saying, this isn't right, this isn't fair, I can't believe you did this to me. It's a very, and this happens when you upgrade a lot, it's a very, oh, I get it now. Right. Me staying here is actually a form of self-deceit. Me staying here is an exaggerated self-sabotage. I understand now. Or seeing in our 3D world what is deceptive. And that can be something like an addiction or gambling or something that seems shiny on the surface, but you now know there's a double-edged sword there. Whatever dopamine you're going to get from it, it's going to end you up losing all of your nourishment. Those cups are going to disappear. Then the world is going to close off to you again. And we have to go back and do that inner work and prioritize all over again. We need this keen sense in your life, Taurus. We need to know quickly, swiftly, and without drama and chaos, what's not right for us, what doesn't serve. It can be, oh, yeah, that's a no. Oh, I now see it. Oh, and it just illuminates very quickly, like, look at this. And spirit, when we're connected and we're open, spirit will show us very clearly. It will be a sudden shift in your environment, an animal messenger that comes with something that's difficult to process. It could be the way, the tone that someone speaks in, the surrounding synchronicity as well. So you thought it was going to be something, your expectations set it up, but actually when you got there, nothing went according to plan and everything felt a bit off, right? That's not purely your expectations letting you down. Sometimes it's that spirit wants you to get uncomfortable so you see where the deceit is, right? It could be in us, it could be in someone else, it could be in the environment, it could be in the collective, it could be you thought that your intention was going to take you this way, and actually that intention is taking you on a difficult path. Watch for that clarity. We want that. Even though we're seeing uncomfortable trends, we do actually want that. We want the intuition to be so sharp and so quick that it's immediate. Pay attention to the emotions in your body when you get into these situations, right? Beautiful story emerging for you, Taurus. The animal cards come in as the shadow aspect for us. So these cards I created as a companion for my students going through shamanic medicine. We work with a lot of animal spirits, birth totems, power animals, and they come with light and dark, just like everything else. The tarot comes with that too. There is both a useful, positive aspect to most cards, but there is warning systems as well. So we've got the story about where we're heading to in March. This card is about the Black Panther. And I don't know if you've worked with the Black Panther before, but the Black Panther comes with an incredible journey into darkness, into the shadow, through it, so that divine feminine can awaken. Divine feminine is a powerful force. Look at what Mother Nature can do. Look at what she creates. That is divine feminine. And it's a huge force within people and around people. So Black Panther comes through with a almost solitary way of understanding what we need to transmute. So if there's fear in other people and we judge that, we're seeing it because there's the same fear in us. So let's look at it this way, Taurus, because I know you're fairly grounded and very practical, and you love everything around you that brings pleasure and comfort, and that's wonderful. A lot of people are really needing those qualities from you, but there's also something else. Don't be afraid to go into the depths of something. Black Panther is not an easy journey. It's a rewarding, difficult journey. But the payoff is incredible. So notice around you both the deceit and the fear in others. As soon as you identify it and see it, look at it within yourself. Don't ever see the fear outside of you as separate or something that is below you. It is more that that fear is telling you what you're not looking at. So go into that depth. The more you go into it, the more the world will open up, the more you will see it for what it is. Yeah, keep on going through the journey. It's okay if that's a little bit isolating in the beginning, but make sure you look deeper. Now, there's ways that you can look deeper, of course. You can journal, you can set yourself up with a practitioner, a healer to really ask those difficult questions. You can go into divination work, go towards the discomfort and pull out everything that doesn't serve you and just look at the deceit. Like, oh, okay, I get it. I was making excuses. Oh, okay, I get it. I was having this narrative in my life that really wasn't serving me, right? Look at all the excuses that you're putting up not to go into depth. And whether it's get the job done or open up the world or get to that new level of awareness, be okay with it. It's got that depth. Be okay with it if it's difficult, right? We're in Pisces season, so we have to balance the material world with the spiritual world. So sometimes that's a push-pull, and just be okay with that, right? This month might not go in that linear, grounded, awesome, progressive way that you love, Taurus. It might actually be up and down. So navigate that and go with it. Spirit wants you to go into it. When you're not feeling great, when the weather's not great outside, where everyone's upset, go into it, ask the questions, do the journaling and the meditation and sit with it. The energy will release, the world will open even brighter, and then you can go towards that. So flow with it as much as you can. I love you, Taurus. I hope that helps. Comment below if you're resonating.